All right, we got our first deer. Yes. I was going to start recording this morning, but I didn't get her done. She's a little buck. He's a little buck, but it's a dual kill. Cameron shot him first, and then he went out in front of me, and I put a second bullet in him.
It's my first.
Cameron's first?
My first.
You have to share it with me. How you like that?
Oh, I'm happy.
He's a little buck, but...
I told Jonah and Harmony they could have the head if we got one.
I told Lindsay, man... I actually said a prayer to get a buck this time.
You did too.
I don't normally say a prayer to get a buck. I just pray for safety and a good time. But I was like, you know what, Lord, I'm going to pray for a buck at this time.
It's the first time I've touched a deer.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
So there's our successful hunt. We just got our buck. And this is the does that it was with, right in here. And I think there's another buck with him. But I left my rifle at the truck. But this is the herd of does, pretty sure. The does are right there. And there, I think, was the other buck just to the left of me. I think that's him right there. I think he's right in here. The other buck, the 3-pointer. I left my rifle at the truck. I think this is him right here. It's a good thing it's any weapon. There's the doe. And there's the other does. And that doe, I think there's a buck right in here somewhere. I got my Glock ready. It's too far of a shot right now. But if I could get closer to him. I think he's just to the left. I think he's over here. The 3-pointer. These does, man, it's opening day and they're not even spooked by me. And we just took a deer out of their herd. They're not even spooked by me. They're all just sitting there. And they are not spooked by me at all. I'm even getting louder now because I need that buck to pop out. Pretty sure this is that herd. And me and Cameron scared up from the creek. This is that herd that we just harvested the buck out of. And I'm pretty sure I just saw the 3-pointer, and I'll bet he's fallen off of him. I also hear stuff behind me. That's about a 50-yard shot with my pistol. I hear something behind me. I gotta look over there. I hate looking over there, because I'm pretty sure that that's not a buck walking towards me. It's probably a cow. And I swear I saw that buck in here. They've moved on. So I'm gonna push over here with my pistol and see if I can see this buck. I got to get back to Cameron because he's cleaning that deer right now. I don't know if you can see him or not, but they're moving right there, moving up the hill. They were right down in here, and all 4 of them were together. And I swear I saw that 3-pointer lay down in here. I've never gotten a deer with my pistol before, so this would be really cool, but he does not. If he's sitting in here, he's not moving. Me and Cameron saw him when we first got here. The buck that we took was not him. Cameron's probably wondering what the heck happened to me. I don't know. It's so thick right in here. I'm not 100%. I could just barely see him. He was big. Looked like he was bigger than those other does that he was with. Still young enough to be hanging out close with the does. He was right in this thick of stuff. I guess I should get back to Cameron. Dang it. I was gonna have a chance to get something with my Glock. I just threw my stuff down when I saw him. I'm sure he's in there. Maybe we'll scare him up on our way back.
All right, we're recording. So the format is going to be...
Did you grab any of those cherries down there?
No, I didn't. I can run down and grab some.
You want to drive the truck down there and grab some?
Can we have the interview first?
Yes.
We're recording.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so the format of this interview will be...
Ain't nobody going to read that. Ain't nobody going to see that.
They will. Oh, you're going to cut me out.
I'm
Fine.
going to edit that right out of there. Hey, go over
So
there.
we're just going to ask questions,
Yep.
and then you guys can decide who wants to answer the question.
Well,
So you
it's
can
going to
take
go
turns.
the same way as it did
Same
before.
way. He tells the story.
I
and
tell
then
the
when
first,
he tells me to run, I'll pick up.
Then he goes, and then I go, and we're done.
All right.
If you stay like that, you can stay. But if you do the other thing, I'm going to slap the blonde right off of you.
No, he's a good
Right in front of YouTube.
Wow.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it is...
We're going to leave that in the YouTube video.
October 11th, 2025, and yesterday was the first day of deer hunting season. And when I drove into the camp, well, actually, let's start from the very beginning. You guys got up around 6:30,
We got
Six.
6.
6 o'clock on Friday morning,
Yep.
and got your deer hunt started. So
The
let's
reason
go
that
from
we're
there.
doing this video is because this was a really unique way
Okay.
to take a deer. Not very many people are ever going to be able to have that experience with somebody that they're hunting with. And so we thought this would be a fun story to share with YouTube.
Awesome. All right, well, let's start our story there. You guys left camp here.
So, yeah, we drove
about
up the mountain.
6:45.
We had about 40 minutes to get in the spot that we wanted to get to. And when we got there was people already hunting in that spot because up here, which you've seen on previous videos, there's a lot of hunting pressure. So, you know, we knew there was going to be a lot of competition. We just simply didn't get there early enough. So we decided, okay, well, we'll pull an audible and we'll go to the other spot that we like. We call the pit. And when we pulled up there, somebody was camping in there. So we were like, uh-oh, we're out of luck. It looks like we're going to have to just go to our fallback spots. And 2 of them, one of them's called Rock Spot, and the other one we call Big Bear Road because we saw a really big black bear up there one year when we were hunting. So we started driving, and we drove past Rock Spot, and I wasn't really sure if it was Rock Spot or not. Cameron couldn't remember either, but so we went beyond it because we thought, well, we're going to try to get down a little further. And we started having some indecision in what we were going to do. And so Cameron's like, let's just go back to Rock Spot. So I turned around and we went back to Rock Spot. And then I was like, you know what? I want to kind of walk and hunt. And so I just think it'll be better if we're walking. And I think we're going to be at that time of day now because dawn had already happened and we could legally shoot. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just walk on the road and maybe we'll see something down in the ravines or something moving in front of us. And we'll be able to shoot at that. So we turned around again and went back the other way in the direction that we originally were going. We were very indecisive. So we parked the truck, we get out of the truck, Cameron gets his gun, we got our backpacks and everything in the back of the truck. And I walked to the back of the truck and I opened the back of the truck and Cameron's still getting his gun and I hear something off in the ravine behind the truck. So I walk over there to look at it And I look down in there and I don't see nothing. So I thought, oh, maybe it was a cow because we got a lot of free range up there. And so I go to start getting my backpack out, and Cameron walks around with his gun. Just when Cameron walks around there, 5 doe, like, what do you say, 10 feet away?
Yeah, not far, 10, 15 feet behind you were facing me. And I go, holy crap, there's like 4 deer right there. And so you turn around and you see them. We just watch them go up the hill. And I think the two, I'm glassing them right now, trying to see like, okay, do they have antlers or what? None of them had antlers. And we're both just watching them. And you're kind of pointing different ones out. And then while I keep watching, you turn around to go grab something.
No, I just turn around. Yeah, I've got to go get my gun.
Yeah. Okay,
so I still haven't got my gun yet. And I turn around and I see a doe lagging behind with a 3-point buck. And I go, Cameron.
In front of the truck.
In front of the truck. Yeah, that was about 30 feet away from us. And so I hit Cameron. I go, that was a buck. And we just kind of stared at each other for a few seconds. It seemed like longer than that because we were just kind of stunned. We didn't know what to do. I didn't even have my gun. We didn't have our coats on. We had our hunting licenses and our tags, but that was really about it. And we just kind of stared at each other, and I looked at Cameron and I go, get in there! And he gets that look on his face and he takes off like he's in the army again. Boom, and he heads up the hill.
Yep. So at that point, he tells me to go, I figured, well, I didn't see the buck that he actually pointed out to me. So I figured my best course of action would be just to follow the does that I had just been watching because I knew the path they took, and maybe he'll orbit past him again. So I go ahead and I take off up the hill, and I'm kind of thinking through it like, oh man, this was probably a waste of time. They're already gone. And then as soon as I started thinking that, I stopped and looked up the hill, and there's the does stopped again. They're only about 50 yards away. So I keep following. And then I think again, oh, they're probably gone again. And I look up, and there they are, still 50 yards away. And at this point, I've traveled about 100 yards. And I go up a little bit steeper, and then it starts to level off. And there's this really well-worn game trail there with tons of deer droppings just all over the place. And at this point, I'm probably about 150 yards from the truck going up the hill. And now the does have gone down the path. So instead of going up, now they're just going along the hillside. So I follow them, but this time as it's kind of going up and down, I can't always see them until I kind of crest these little hills. And then I see them, only this time, instead of 50 yards away, I'm only like about 20 yards. And then one of the females is like, and just like warns the others, hey, we're leaving. And they launch. Now they're gone. And I'm like, okay, now they're really spooked. I'll do my best. Maybe I can get a long range shot on something else that's near them. So then I get to where they were, and there's one more miniature little hill crest. So I go up, and right as I'm at the top of it, I hear something down the hill again, but still in front of me. So at this point, there's the truck. I've traveled 150 yards up the hill, and now I've traveled maybe about 30 yards down the path. And I'm on this little crest, and I see a deer or hear it coming up, and it pops on my path, and it takes me about 1 second, maybe 2, and I go, that has antlers. And I don't have time to go down onto my knees or anything, so I just lift standing, and I can see, because I've been going up the hill and I've got adrenaline, I'm breathing hard, and it's really difficult to keep my sights on, but if I wait too long, he's going to be gone. So I go ahead and I just fire when I think I'm at that dead center spot. And he jumps and goes, and I was about 60% based on, okay, so that when you pull the trigger and you have that snapshot image of this is what it looked like when I actually hit it, I was pretty sure I hit it, but that 40% I don't know. And then about 30 seconds later, as I'm trying to follow it and see it, I hear a second shot.
So when he goes up into the woods, I take off down the road like an Olympic sprinter. Well, I run back to the truck and grab my 30-06 real quick, lock the truck, and take off down the road like an Olympic sprinter. And then I think, okay, I'm far enough away from Cameron so we can kind of trap these deer in between us. And I start running up the hill as fast as I can. I get to a point where I'm just like completely out of breath. And so I'm like doing this 7-step rule, take 7 steps, wait 7 seconds, 7 steps, 7 seconds. And I start to notice that I walked so far that I'm into the other people's camp. And so I was like, oh no, I need to start going this way up the hill. The gravel pit. Yeah, I made it into the pit area. And so I start going, I think probably north at that point. I start heading north up the hill. And, you know, like Cameron said, he's like, you got to take a shot, because we've been up here hunting for 4 years and we've never had an opportunity to even shoot at anything. So if we see something with antlers, we're shooting it and eating it. That's it. So I start up the hill and I hear a shot and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Did Cameron shoot it? Did possibly he push the other deer towards me when that shot got taken? So I wait there, I'd say about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, here comes this 2-pointer, and he's running or bouncing at full speed, as fast as he can go. So I get down on one knee, and I get my gun ready, and I'm leading him. And then as he starts to feel comfortable, or as his adrenaline, because Cameron had actually hit him in the back. So as his adrenaline is starting to go down, I see him, as he slows down, stumble. And I think in my mind to myself, you know, and this all takes place within milliseconds, I think to myself, Cameron hit that deer. And then he stumbles again, and as he's stumbling, he comes into my sight picture, and I shoot him right behind the shoulder. And he just seizes up and goes down and slides down the hill a little bit. And then, of course, I'm like, woohoo! I start screaming, deer down! And Cameron comes around the thing, and then you'll see in the video us celebrating. Mm-hmm. But that was a pretty special way to take a deer. I mean, you like, usually if two people shoot the same deer, it's at the same time. Like 1, 2, 3, shoot, and that's how you get
Not
it.
30 seconds apart
Not
from
30
two
seconds.
different angles.
So you pushed that deer to Nathan,
Yep.
and he
Well, he followed that same trail.
Yeah.
He came on his trail.
Yeah, he came on the trail because that deer came up a different path up the hill. And I'm not sure, but I'm thinking Nathan unintentionally, inadvertently pushed that deer into my path for me to shoot it, which then forced him again in front of Nathan at a higher angle so he could shoot it.
Yeah, like I said, I was trying to get where we were, because we had this experience last year with Jake where we weren't far enough apart. Well, actually, one time we were far enough apart and we were bouncing the deer between us. So I knew I needed to get a couple 100 yards down so the deer would be trapped between us and we could push them back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
But Cameron's shot was, in my experience with the other bucks that I've gotten in the past, on opening day, something that I've noticed that young bucks will do from time to time, and that is they'll run away and then they'll stop if they don't feel that threatened, and they'll look back. And that's how I got both of my deers in the past. Well, 2 of them, and yes, I've only gotten, like, this is like my 3rd or 4th deer, depends on how you want to count it. So yeah, I don't have a whole bunch of racks in the trophy room, but
We'll work on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
It's food.
That's all I care about.
That's
and,
right.
You know, I don't even care if I take a deer or a doe.
So you got
Brown is down.
a 2-point, which means that's a 2-year-old.
Yeah, 2 on each side.
Well, 4-pointer if you're in the south. In Idaho, we only go by one side of the rack.
And
so
he was about how old then?
I'm not sure. I think that's like 2 or 3 years old. Somebody can say in the comment section how old a 2-pointer is. That'd be fantastic.
Okay, and you think he probably weighed 90 or 100 pounds?
It's hard to say how much he weighed. He looks
He
really
was really
skinny in
heavy.
the picture.
When we quartered him and had all those chunks of meat, it was a lot more than I would have thought
But
by looking at the picture.
Honestly, he probably is about the size of a really large whitetail, because he was a mule deer. So even though he's pretty small, he's probably pretty close to the size of a large whitetail.
And we're up here in the Boise National Forest, so you had grass in his belly when you gutted him, right?
Oh,
You'll
yeah,
see
it
that in the
was full
video,
of green
because we make some mistakes in the
grass.
gutting video. There'll be a gutting video, a cleaning video you'll see, and you guys can go in there and tell us how we
Comment
did it
away.
wrong.
Yeah, it's a tiny mistake. Made a few. It was my first time gutting him.
Yeah, and it's been a long time. I've been a part of probably maybe half a dozen or a little bit more of deer getting cleaned. But it'd been
Long time.
15 years since we'd gotten anything. So I couldn't remember everything. And the adrenaline's flowing and I'm like, do this step. And I'm sure I wasn't helping
Now, I
much.
remember you guys talking over the last couple of years, because this is the first time we've been hunting in the Boise National Forest. You've gone to different places, and so
We will hunt in
you've
Frank
said
Church mostly.
It was going to take you a year or so to get used to the
Took
land.
us, only
And so
4
this
years
is
or
your
so.
third
And
or
yeah,
fourth
this is the
year?
3rd year, and now we feel fourth
Is this
year.
your
Yeah,
fourth? Okay.
this is my 3rd time
Yeah.
hunting with you because I missed last year. But yeah, now I feel like
So
kinda
you
more
kind of have a lay
settled.
of the land.
Well, we know the
Yeah.
areas that we want to hunt now.
we know what areas are good for what time of day.
And it's always going to be more difficult up here because it's open general hunt and it's in the backwoods. So you
It's
don't
hard
have
to shoot anything further than 100 yards.
100%.
It's too thick.
because you can't see very far. And so you can't just drive around in glass. and then chase down the herd of deer and sit down in prone or lay down in prone and get a great shot.
Like
The
in
lowest
Eastern
you can
Idaho
get
and
is
them
kneeling.
valleys.
Otherwise, the bushes
Oh
and stuff
yeah,
will be
you
too
won't
high.
ever be able to go in
Right.
prone.
Okay.
So.
That's
All
awesome.
right.
The one cool thing about the shot when I did actually hit the deer is after we were looking at the damage and it had fallen over, my shot, just because the angle he had turned, I shot from over his right shoulder, and the bullet hit him right in the spine, and it broke the spine, but it didn't sever the cord. So when I go to look at the body, I can't see the exit wound that he made, and I go pressing to kind of feel what was going on. And right as I get to where my bullet hole was, which you can see because there's this just big wound right on top of the spine, I push and it just. So it shattered the spine. So somehow that deer managed to prance as far as he did on adrenaline with a shattered spine. And so he probably wouldn't have made it that far, even if Nathan didn't shoot him, because I think he would have snapped his cord.
So when I was young, I was thinking about this last night. When I was young, I could run the 100-yard, because I was in track and field. I could run the 100 in about 10.5, 11 seconds.
Yeah.
That deer runs faster than me, I promise you.
Yeah.
It took him 30 seconds to get to me.
Did not go very far. Yeah.
So that's probably 200 yards
Yeah.
that he moved. Because it
That's
took
true.
him 20, 30 seconds
That's true.
With a broken back.
with a broken back. He was going
broken
full
back.
speed. When I saw him and I started leading him, he was going full speed.
Now, when you both
And we
got to
found the
him,
bullet.
he was still
yeah, we
alive.
found
We
Cameron's
skinned
bullet.
him.
That was the coolest
It
thing.
hit the bone and then just kind of traveled in between the skin along the muscle and got stuck right at his rear, but it didn't exit.
And we got that video will come out after this video. We have a video of us skinning it, and then we have a video of us quartering it.
We'll show a
and
picture of the bullet.
We have a video of us gutting it, but I
Yeah.
think the gut video will be maybe on this video.
Now,
We'll see.
you had to dispatch him when you got to him, right? He was
Oh, yeah.
still
Yeah, he
alive.
was still kind of alive, even with that huge
He was
wound
still
on his side.
Yeah, so Nathan's
That was
bullet,
crazy.
came in hit him directly in the side, perfect profile shot, which is what you want, at it's sort of a low angle, and he hits it, and it hit it perfectly, blew out a hole about this big, because you used the 30-06 so close.
Blew
To
him up.
where when we rolled him over to look at the hole,
This
his
wound
lungs
cavity.
hanging out like a little tongue in his wound.
The wound cavity was huge, and that is on the dressing video. When
Yep.
we're cleaning the deer, that's on the video. You'll be able to see this huge wound cavity. And Cameron shot too to his spine. Those
You
are
see-
both weird shots.
Yeah, and
but-
he was moving, and so Nathan said, "Hey, he's still alive. Why don't you put him down?" So I pulled my pistol and shot him in the neck. And
So
he
historically, your deer have always been on opening day? That was your best
all
luck?
the deer I've ever taken, except for it was on opening day, but it was a night hunt. But all the deer that I've ever taken have been opening day, morning hunt, probably half an hour to an hour after you could legally hunt. So I've never gotten anything sitting there waiting for the sun, like an hour before we sat there, and we've done this a lot, sitting there for an hour waiting for the sun to come up, and never gotten anything that way. It's
So this was
always
a great
been exactly
active
the way
hunt.
me and Cameron got it, active hunting within that 30 minutes to an hour.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and we will be enjoying your deer.
Yeah, and you guys can make fun of the size of our deer all you want. Who cares? We
it's
are
gonna
going to
be
eat
yummy.
it. Brown is down. All right.
That's right.
Thanks, America.
All
Enjoy
right.
the video.
Thanks, guys.
see ya.